All right. Good morning, traders. Happy Sunday, everybody. You should be able to chat with me, chat with each other, see my screen, hear my voice. Good morning, Bob Rowland. Good to see you. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Doug Ward. Pit Boss is here. Good Sunday morning to you, Kent. Love it. Okay, let me get Craig M. Good morning, sir. Let me get set up here. Okay. Happy Sunday to you, Linda. Good morning indeed. Steve C. Good morning. A good group already here. John Welsh. Good morning. Stephen D. Okay. Good. I'm like advancing my screens. Hold on a second. Let me get back to the start. And officially, good morning. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Sunday Market Insights. I am Scott. Happy Sunday to you, Tony. As always, what we're going to do is for education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing is intended as a recommendation to buy or sell any security or financial product. We're not brokers or advisors, and therefore we do not give personalized investment advice. Any decisions you make should be done so at your own risk, yada, yada, yada. What are we going to do today? We're going to market posture. It's been an interesting few weeks with the posture. I've seen a couple of things where I'm like, wow, that was quite an impressive feat as it shifts and changes. We will look at the economic calendar. We're not quite to the next. So I'm trying to think. Friday's May 1st. But I don't think that they'll have employment data ready. I think employment data will be the next week. I think it'll be the 8th. We'll go look at that. Good morning, Victor. So we'll look at the economic calendar. We are going to do some searching on Tuesday night in my market foundations session. I'm thinking we definitely need to search consumer discretionary. I have a feeling that our market posture will confirm that today. I think it would benefit us to search technology to see what we could find that looks good in addition to the stuff we have. That maybe there's been a little shakeup and some new things to look at. And maybe financials too. I think I have some good, strong things that I'm watching. Some leaders, high liquidity leaders, but always worth taking another peek. Right? Always worth taking another look. So I'm thinking those three, but we'll see if our market posture confirms that. Okay. We will drop some things as the as we go through them today. If there's anything that looks like we're unlikely to trade it, we'll just drop it. Right? No need to keep it around. Okay. All right. Let's get going. Oh, trading plan section of the week. Sorry, almost forgot. Good morning, Vladimir. Trading plan section of the week. We're on to section 5. We're on to section 5. What does that mean to us? What is section 5? Section 5 is our routines. Right now, we're working on weekly routines. What weekly routines are we going to do? We're going to do watch list maintenance. We're going to do market posture. We're going to create an early week opportunity list. We're going to review the economic calendar. That's probably half of my weekly items. Be specific, and certainly you're welcome to piggyback. Remember that we have a fully fleshed out plan. That you have the ability to piggyback on at any time. So, okay, let's get in it. Let's get in it. If I can get rid of that. All right. Okay, here's the SPY. We're going to back it out to the weekly chart. We are going to there we go. This here. I'm actually super curious. I have to look now. Okay, it's not. It's not. I didn't even realize we haven't looked because because of the market's like pullback from looking at the Fed, right? The Fed's sort of like, yeah, we're not going to do anything. I literally just kind of took my eye off of when they are going to meet next. April 30th. That's Wednesday. They start on the 29th. They meet on the 30th. What are they going to do? Nothing. Unchanged, right? Unchanged is the expectation there. So that's kind of funny. Like we used to watch that thing on a daily. Now we hadn't looked at it in a couple weeks, and lo and behold, so we've got nothing on Monday. Consumer confidence on Tuesday. That's not a good drop right there, but okay. Below 90 is that's a that's a little concerning. I doubt the market will react immediately, but overall, that's concerning. What you've got Wednesday, a bunch of nothing like housing starts, durable goods, building permits. This is what matters. Is what does Jer Bear say as he's getting close to the end of his term? So they said it was ironic that Trump looking to investigate him was actually going to keep him in his position. And so they've dropped the investigation. Thursday's pretty big. We've got GDP. That looks like a good number. We'd love to see that. Income spending, and then we've got a slew of data here. We've got PCE, which is jumping. You can see it here to a 3.5 from a 2.8. The core has been holding a little better. Remember, core is excluding energy, but energy is now starting to get built into other things. So that one's jumping as well. So looking at seeing that moving higher. Okay. Sorry. I wanted to see that, which means next week will be here's job openings, here's ADP, and here is non-farm payrolls. So employment first week of the month. Okay, now let's get to the Oracle. And we'll start down here. And we'll go 04. 26 chart. And let's get going. Steven said he's still a 1.25. I believe that makes sense. Where are you, Mr. Oracle? Let's see where we are. Copy, insert. Insert column before, paste. 26. Yeah, I agree. Oops. 04, 26. I've got like a weird date formatting issue. Okay, there we go. Okay, back to the chart. Yeah, last week we got a huge jump. If we had only gotten barely into the red, I probably would have taken a little time. But because we jumped to the top half, now we moved even a little further, not much. It's basically the same thing. So 1.25 makes sense to me. Oh, the model was behind us on this one, and it's saying now it agrees 1.25. 1.25. Okay. Yeah, easy enough. No real controversy there. Makes sense. I think we all agree. Anyone seeing it differently? Anyone struggling getting their score up? What would it take? I mean, you can see overall the trend looks good. We seem to have popped right out of that, at least for the time being. Okay. Oh my gosh. My mouse is unclicking before I'm ready. There we go. That's the picture I wanted. Oh, wait, is this? Oh, yeah, this is it. They were at a 1.25. Short term at a 0.75 for Steven. I was at a 0.25. It's definitely better than that. I feel like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we sort of dropped and then bounced to a higher point. I'm gonna go up another quarter of a point. It's hard to like score this. I think that's what the model is doing. That's what the Oracle is doing. I'm gonna give it a quarter of a point, 0.5. I am curious. Where's everybody else on this one? I think ChatGPT, I think the Oracle was gonna be no, I haven't stayed. Minus 0.75. Jumped to a minus 0.25. That was a half a point jump here. Minus 0.25 to a 0.25. That's another half a point here. And then another quarter point. So mine's steady. I mean, that's 2 half points in a row. So yeah, I'm a 0.5. I think it's reasonable. Steve C says he's also a 0.5, up a quarter of a point. Mine drops slower, and then we'll also, I want to see a little bit more confirmation of a couple of things. Get my calculators out of the way. All right. So yeah, I'm not gonna have a big overreaction. I am definitely gonna reflect that it's made big improvements. Bob Rowland says 1.5 Okay, that's perfectly reasonable. 175. It has strengthened meaningfully with strong follow through after last week's breakout. I don't know. Is it a strong follow through? Last week we were at 709.90. This week we're at 713.94. I feel like this one is maybe getting a little too exuberant here. Are you saying the close that was only $4 higher than last week's close reflects a strong breakout worth another 0.5 increase? Do I seem a little bit like, are you sure about that? Here we go. What actually matters here? This is what I want to get to without leading too much. Was there structural information that's new? Did we get expansion or continuation? Did it change the character? Price made a marginal new high, but it was not a meaningful expansion. More like continuation grind, not acceleration. Too aggressive. I mean, I'm okay with that. I think it jumped a little too far anyway, but all right. Fair enough. We without being too prescriptive, got it to dial back at least a quarter of a point, but still at a 1.5. All right, let's go to volume. Agree. Okay, good. We work hard, I feel like, to make it objective and not biased. Like if it says that was a strong breakout, I want to be like, are you sure? Like, what did you see that made it strong? Because it closed at 709 and now it's at 713. Whipped around a little bit, but really didn't move much more. For me, the quarter point was easy because all I was looking at is did it make a new high? Marginal's fine. Easy quarter point. I was slower to move my score up anyway, so I have room for it to come up a little bit in that regard. Okay, let's get to volume. Let's get to volume. Boom. 0426. 26. And again, we've seen two of the biggest jumps in a row. Either one of those by itself would be enough for us to say that it's meaningful, but we got two of them in a row. So yeah, right, like that to us is certainly something that we want to make sure we're paying very close attention to. All right. Held vol. I think you're right to hold volume. Volume's not giving us much right now. Volume has been an interesting component. Let's go 1 month daily. Only want 7 days. Okay. Okay. Let me get a picture. Whoops. I don't know why my snippet tool seems so finicky lately. Boom. Okay. Let's get that moved over here. And what do we think? That was close. Interestingly, even that day was um short. Didn't even have, we had a 97 average, 93 on that day. So we have one buy day here. It's an, so I'm going to call it, it's still bullishly oriented. I'm going to still give it a 0.25. Interestingly, next week, that's going to fall off. And when that falls off, um, we won't have any volume. And one of the things we've talked about is, do we need, is a tie always to the buyers, even when there's no buyers or sellers? Right? Or is a tie, is a passive tie a zero? Um, anyways, the that might be something we look at. But for now, I'm gonna go 0.25. I mean, it's hard to go anything higher than that. So mine stays the same. And let's go see what the Oracle did. Same. No new qualifying above average days, no new expansion participation. Existing structure remains driven by the prior sequence of buyer controlled, but without fresh confirmation, momentum does not strengthen. Yeah. Well, Stephen, I want you to notice what you just did with that. You just switched it to a price analysis instead of a volume analysis. Remember that the slope is the final like sanity check. Like was there ever a time, like, think about like a jury trial and the jury just does something insane and the judge can like be like, okay, no, I'm stepping in and nullify it or something, right? Uh, that's kind of its job. It's a final sanity check, but we can't give it extra points for volume if there's no volume. That's why I was saying I'm looking at, if it's a buyers and a sellers tie, I give it to the buyers and I give them, they're active. But I'm thinking that if there's no uh no volume at all, never above average volume, I'm going to give it a zero, as it's a passive volume analysis. There is no volume contribution, and that's a volume component. Right? I mean, I just, my thought is, if there's no volume, what are we scoring in this volume analysis? If it's very strong in its price, that gets scored in the short-term trend score. Okay. Let's keep going here. Well, and if you're changing the analysis, my analysis says in order to score it, it's got to be above average. So I'm not like saying like, now if you look at the overall volume, it's not. Average volume has gone from 97 to 90 to 79 to 68. So overall volume is decreasing, and there's no above average volume days. This one was the closest, but just close, right? That's all it is just close. Okay, let's keep looking here. No volume, no score, Victor says, right? Yeah. Yeah. If we get a new volume this week, yes. If this one drops off, I think it'll drop to 0. So that's where I'm at with that. Okay, let's get to the next piece. Major market. Let's get these two charts ready for us. And are we all the way over? Okay. Whew, snuck it in just in time. 426 chart number 1. And what do we see? We see Russell at the top after a surge, reestablishing itself as a leader. We see NASDAQ reestablishing itself as a leader. Both bullish signs, where for a while we had been seeing not that, right? Let's go to 133. What do we see? Russell pushing to a new high, establishing leadership. And NASDAQ moving from lag to level to leader. Not that's a great move there. 66 days. And just like that, look how fast that thing popped back up. This is a dramatic shift. Oops. This is a dramatic shift indeed. Let's get a picture of this one. Let's get a picture of this one. And where were we? Was I like a 0? Oh no, I was already a 0.5. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to a 0.75. I'm going to a 0.75 on this one. It's not perfect, right? Like I'm still going to be pretty restrictive. I don't have Russell in a leading position here. It was on a leading position earlier, but it's actually waned a little here. So I don't know what's going on at the bottom of that screen, but I don't like it. So yeah, I'm going to go 0.75. I don't even need to go to the next chart. The next chart is more for forward looking at this point, but this is definitely confirmation. If I was like, I don't know, I'm on the fence between a 0.5, leaving it and raising it, I'm definitely would raise it. This looks strong across the board. So let's get this one in place. Shaboom. And ready to go. Yeah, that looks great. I am raising my score to a 0.75. Now, The Oracle was at a 0.25. It's got to see some strong suspicious feast recovery. Look, like, are you saying, do we think it's a little bit too far too soon? Certainly, I have that in my mind, like, woo. But at the same time, right now, a lot of things are oversold, or excuse me, overbought, and we're saying we're waiting for a little consolidation. So if it were to have a consolidation that ultimately turned out to be a little bit bigger than we expected, um, we might be like, oh, okay, it regressed a little bit more than we thought. Um, yeah, that's my thoughts. Okay. 0.75. Where did 0.5? It's a progression for them. They were a 0.25. Now it's a 0.5. Dual participation. Uh, yeah. What would it need? Why it's not 0.75? Still shows prior damage, incomplete leadership structure. Okay, that's fair. I can live with that. That's fair. 0.5. I was wondering if it would. I thought it possibly could for sure. Um, okay, what else? What else? Let's get to a full one, Gabe said on his. That's as good as it gets. I would probably remind mine. I'd be like, that is as good as it gets. So if it gets stronger next week, then is this as good as it gets? I don't know. I don't know if we would say that necessarily in our current market. Okay. More than points. Okay, you said we argued. I love it. I love it. A little argument with AI happens with me all the time. So funny. Let's get to the sector rotation. Make sure this is all the way over. What do we see? We see a surge in tech, continue dropping. Um, Energy, that alone is enough to probably give us a little something to work with here. Okay. Let's go to 133. Nope. 133. Oh, did I not get the one? Apparently, I didn't get the first one. Let's go back to 200. Sorry, guys. One, two, mm, and less here. Steven said his is still a minus 0.5. Yeah, I mean it's you can see that the industrials, the technology, a little jump there. We're seeing some staples still, but financials still down here. Discretionary, yeah. It's a little bit laggy, maybe. Here's 66. What are we seeing here? Well, this actually we've got tech popping out there. Energy still up, but we've got tech, and then we've got utilities, materials, industrials. Uh, yeah, it's definitely still a mixed bag. Um, where was I? Minus 0.5. I think I'm gonna still go to a minus 0.25. Did I get a picture of this one? I did. I think I'm gonna raise it. Just the advancement consistently of technology alone, I feel like is enough to pop it. And there's another one. Yeah, I'm gonna raise mine a quarter of a point. There's still a bit of concern. It's not like a oh look how great all the sectors look. Discretionary is there. Industrials is there. We're it's a little better here, but this isn't moved into the 66 yet. Where's everybody else on this one? I'm gonna improve my score a quarter of a point. Minus 0.25. Uh, I'm super curious what the Oracle does. A zero. Full. Okay, he saw a little more even. Comfortable with the five because of all. Okay, fair. Tech has moved into leadership. Discretionary has improved and is participating. Financials have stabilized. Okay. All right. Important restraint, why it hasn't gone positive for us yet. Tech to lead strongly. Discretionary to lead, not just participate. And financials start moving into leadership. That makes sense. I agree with that. But the model did jump. The Oracle did jump to a zero. So it is moving like I'm moving into like the past the outer edge of the bullish end of neutral into I'm slightly bullish here. And it's like possibly going to hit a 4. All right. Let's go finish up with the VIX. And mine did close just barely enough to, you can see this crossed, this turned and pinched and started to cross, and this got lower. I'm going to give it a quarter of a point. Boom, boom, boom for me. It's under this 20, but it hasn't meaningfully started to move yet. That's my thought. So let's get a picture of this for the Oracle. A half makes, yeah, I'm fine with that. Not like you need my approval. But what I'm saying is that's a good like bullish emerging, and that's where I think we see ourselves is emerging bullish conditions. Prior score 0.25, new score 0.25. So the Oracle did not raise the score at all. I did. So I'm a 275. It's a 375. Our gap was a half a point, and then it became 3/4 of a point, and now it's a full point. Our gap is widening. Steve C and I are very similar. Stephen D just a quarter point away. Gabe, a little more bullish at 425. His AI is a 5. It's like, yes, get on your horse. Let's go. Yeah, okay. Okay. I think this makes sense. Kent, good to see you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Let me get a note card ready for us to a 3 overall. I mean, that feels about right. I think. I think that feels about right. Tell me if not. Let's see. 426. Let's get a watch list going here. And let me get this ready. Alcoa. Yeah. I think Alcoa could become a hiccup trade. What am I doing here? I just want a drawing tool. Okay. I'm putting Alcoa on because I think Alcoa could have a hiccup. If it holds here and reemerges, that's a whole new trade. That's the kind that I'm like, yes, we could see that make this move again, get us up into that upper realm. I like it. Apple. I'm not feeling Apple yet. Give me your thoughts. It is close to this support level here. And you might think, you know what? If it were to bounce off of this, I might take that support bounce to see if it even just can get back up there. I just don't like it coming out of an earnings gap, right? That's my concern is coming out of that earnings gap. Okay. Um, how did I get to that? Oh, that's Netflix. Sorry. Yep, I didn't realize that. Something happened there. Apple. Apple, I'm leery of. You guys were just like, what is he doing here? Apple, I'm leery of because of earnings. I just don't think we have time. As it's pulling back, it's going to run right up into this. So earnings season is fully upon us. ADM, no for me. AMAT chips look great. Hopefully, you got at least one, maybe two on in that realm. Even after it pulled back a little bit from the high, still up 3%. Very nice. Uh, it's not really a new trade. I guess I'm going to keep it on my list since we're in it. AMKR way overextended still. Amazon way overextended still, plus earnings coming up. APH, I'm going to put it on because it could still produce something despite the earnings. And this does look like it's trying to pull into something. ASX, my goodness, this thing is just a beast. AXP is a yes for me. Baba is a yes for me. Bank of America is a yes for me. BCS coming up on earnings. Citigroup looks good. Financials are definitely early an early horse from a sector standpoint. Where do we have momentum that looks like it could be ready to go? That's definitely a piece for me. CF, no. CIN, no. Coherent, yes. Cisco, yes. Nice potential ease coming into us here. Okay. Delta, still a yes for me. Is that weird? Oh, getting ready to leave. See you tomorrow, Stephen. Drive safe if you're driving. Delta, I mean, I know that they're like, oh, there's fuel shortages and but this thing is made a new high, made a higher low. I'm still looking at it. Dow, no. GE, no. Gold. Gold does look like it's kind of setting up. Gold does and silver does. I'm putting them on my list this week. GM would be if it weren't for earnings. I don't know. That's a little bit off in there. Google, if it weren't for earnings. I'm actually still going to put Google on. I like Google and Meta. Goldman, yes. Home Depot. I think the Depot looks like it could start moving up again. I'm going to put it on. We are talking about consumer discretionary, right? HL, no. IBM, no. Intel, no. IWM, Lumentum, LRCX is a yes for me. MasterCard may I think I like AXP better, if anything. Meta, yes. Look how much stronger our list is looking right now as well, right? A much stronger list. Okay. Look at Monster. Amazing. Maybe so. Marvell, no. Morgan Stanley, yes. You can see the financials. As I said before, I'm thinking a bank and a broker, bank and a credit and a bank. Microsoft, looking better. Not quite yet for me, especially with earnings right there. Micron looks good. Put Micron on our list here. Netflix is a no, we said. NVIDIA, Palantir, got earnings. I don't know. Palantir's just kind of jiggling around now. Rocket Lab, yes. Yes. I think we're all thinking about some rocket action, right? Ross Stores, grinding. RTX, no. Silver, yes. SanDisk, SPY, STX, a little overextended. SYY, no. Tesla's looking a little better. I'm going to put Tesla on the list as a yes. Good earnings. Pulling a reversal. Let's see. Why Google? It does. Because it was this consolidation. right? You can see it consolidated here. Now it's crossing. And you only have a few days before earnings. So this would be like a 1, 2, 3. Chopping around in a, well, I mean, you mean this here? This chopping around in a narrow range? But that's the selling cycle. These first 2 days, that's the sellers trying. And then what happened? Buyers came back, then a pause, and then we had a big buy day on volume that broke above average. And it broke above that range, right? So if that range was the consolidation, then we look and see. Now, I'm not saying it's great. Look, it's got earnings in a few days. That's a detriment. And so for me, I'm thinking that's a maybe. Possible continuation trade up until earnings. Okay, let me see. Where did I get to? TSM looks pretty good. UPS, no. Vail, I like Vail, but it's got earnings. VIK, ooh, Viking Cruises looks pretty enticing today. VOD back on path. Let's see if it can make its move. That's it now. It had its hiccup. It had its little derailment period. Okay. And that's about it for the list. WDC still going. Walmart. Ooh, Walmart. Yeah. Walmart. Okay, that's my list now for sure. This week's trading plan. We're on the second half of the second pass already. That's how fast these things go. We just finished risk management last week. This week on section 5, we are working on routines. If you're just starting daily, weekly, daily routines, break it down into number of, like, is it a pre-market and during market? Do you have pre, during, post? Do you not have during? Some people don't have the ability. They have to do it before and after. Whatever you have available, write down your routines. And what you're thinking about is when, how long. So you might be like, oh, my pre-market routine is at 6:45 in the morning. It lasts 15 minutes. Here's the list of things. That's it. Make it a habit, good habits of doing the right thing every single day. And then on the weekend, same thing. Good work today, everybody. We got done on time. We have a great watch list. We have an improved posture, moving back into a hopefully soon, fully bullish conditions. Obviously the news has to catch up. But yeah. There you go. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's rainy and gloomy here, but hopefully it's nice weather where you are. I will see you in the morning so that we can all transition our market posture to our trading posture and start the week off right. Thanks again, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day as always. Happy trading.